Eliryssa, now an acting deputy, walked the well-trodden path towards Goldshire. The sun filtered through the trees of Elwynn Forest, casting a warm glow along her path. Her steps were purposeful, the weight of her new responsibility driving her forward. She knew her next task was to meet Marshal Dughan and help keep the forest safe from further threats. The sounds of the forest accompanied her, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the occasional distant rumble of a carriage along the road. She could almost see the silhouette of Goldshire ahead, its warmth and sense of community a beacon in the midst of uncertainty.
Good day, Marshal Dughan.
You have word from McBride? Northshire is a garden compared to Elwynn Forest, but I wonder what Marshal McBride has to report. Here, let me have his papers.
Eliryssa handed over the documents, taking in the bustle of Goldshire.
Well, it says here that you've been awarded acting deputy status with the Stormwind Marshals. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marshal. I appreciate the recognition, and I'll do everything I can to keep Elwynn safe.
And good luck. Keeping Elwynn safe is no picnic. What with most the army busy doing who knows what for who knows which noble. It's hard to keep track of politics in these dark days.
It does sound challenging, but I'm ready for it. We'll do our best to manage, even without much support.
Okay. The mine in Northshire isn't the only one with problems. I have reports that the Fargodeep Mine in Elwynn has also become a haven for kobolds.
Kobolds in another mine?
Yes, unfortunately, it looks like we're dealing with more of them. Explore the mine and confirm these reports, then return to me. The mine is almost due south of Goldshire, between the Stonefield and Maclure homesteads.
Understood. I'll head there immediately and report back with what I find.
After her conversation with Marshal Dughan, Eliryssa made her way to the Goldshire Inn. She carried a small package of supplies to deliver to the innkeeper, a request from a villager in Northshire. The inn was lively, filled with travelers and locals, and she was glad to secure a room for herself for the next few days. As Eliryssa was leaving the inn, she was stopped by an elderly man named Pestle. He looked at her with hopeful eyes, and his voice carried a hint of urgency.
Hello, my lady. Do you have a moment? My brother and I run an apothecary in Stormwind, and I'm here to gather large candles for their wax. Can you help me?
Candles, you say? I might be able to help. Where can I find these candles?
You can get large candles from kobolds, and I hear rumors that kobolds are infesting the Elwynn mines, the Fargodeep Mine to the south, and Jasperlode Mine to the east.
All right. I'll check those mines and see what I can do.
Thank you, my lady. Your help is greatly appreciated.
As Eliryssa made her way through Goldshire, she noticed a man standing by one of the merchant stalls, waving at passers-by. His name was Remy, one of the gold merchants in town. He looked like he could use some help, his eyes scanning the crowd for anyone willing to lend a hand.
Hello, my lady. Do you have a moment? The kobolds in these parts sometimes carry gold dust on them. I could really use the stuff. Bring me a load of it, and I'll give you the best price in town.
Gold dust?
You can find these kobolds in the Fargodeep Mine to the south, and around the Jasperlode.
Eliryssa nodded, taking note of the directions. She knew her journey through Elwynn Forest was far from over, and more challenges awaited. Eliryssa set off towards the Fargodeep Mine, her determination unwavering. Along the way, she encountered a few kobolds, quickly dispatching them with her magic, their gold dust now safely in her possession. As Eliryssa got closer to the Fargodeep Mine, she noticed a beautiful farm a little distance away. Curiosity led her to the farm, where she discovered it was owned by the Stonefield family. She met Auntie Bernice, who welcomed her warmly. In their conversation, Auntie Bernice hinted at some ongoing tension between the Stonefields and the Maclures, stemming from a disagreement over land boundaries and old family disputes. Despite the picturesque surroundings, Eliryssa could sense an undercurrent of unease, and she knew this was another story worth uncovering.
Oh, Eliryssa, you seem like someone who can handle herself. I lost my necklace, and I think that gutter snipe Billy Maclure took it. He's always skulking around the Maclure vineyards, east of here. Could you help me get my necklace back? You'd warm an old widow's heart.
I'll help you, Auntie Bernice. I'll head to the Maclure vineyards and see if I can find Billy and recover your necklace.
Oh, thank you, dear. Be careful, Billy can be quite slippery.
Eliryssa made her way towards the Maclure vineyards, her curiosity piqued by Auntie Bernice's request. Upon reaching the vineyard, she found a mischievous young boy, his eyes darting around as if looking for trouble. It was clear that this must be Billy Maclure, and he looked every bit the troublemaker Auntie Bernice had described.
You lost a what? Well, I didn't take no necklace because I ain't no thief. I might know who did, but I'm too hungry to remember. Maybe if I got a pie, I could tell you who has that necklace. And you know, I think that old Bernice lady at that other farm makes great pork belly pies. Maybe if you gave her some tender boar meat from the boars that hang around our farms and told her what it was for, she'd bake up a pie for you.
Eliryssa thought to herself, what a naughty little bargainer Billy was. She couldn't help but smile at his audacity, but she knew she had to play along if she wanted to get Auntie Bernice's necklace back. Eliryssa set off to gather the tender boar meat Billy requested. She moved swiftly through the fields, dispatching several boars along the way. With enough meat in hand, she headed back to Auntie Bernice at the Stonefield farm, ready to request the pie Billy had asked for.
I don't think it's right feeding the boy who stole my necklace in the first place. But if that's what it takes to get back what's mine, then so be it.
Of course, Auntie Bernice.
Do you have that boar meat?
Yes, here it is.
Though this wild boar meat is bland, simmer it enough in the right spices and it sure does make for some tasty pie. Here you go. And thank you, Eliryssa. When you give this pie to that Billy, you tell him I hope he enjoys every bite of it, but remembers not to take things that aren't his.
Thank you, Auntie Bernice. I'll make sure Billy knows.
Ugh, I'm starving. Do you have that pie for me?
Yes, Billy, I have your pie. Auntie Bernice hopes you enjoy it, but also wants you to remember not to take things that aren't yours.
This pie is the best. I think my memory is coming back to me. I was playing near the Fargodeep Mine, and I think I dropped, I saw the old lady's necklace. Don't ask me how it got there. It wasn't me. Well, anyway, I saw this big gold-toothed kobold pick up the necklace and run back to his den above the moat. Go find that kobold and you'll find the necklace, I swear.
As Eliryssa was about to leave the vineyard to search for the necklace, she noticed a house on the other side of the vineyard. It appeared guarded by two members of the family, and she could see a young woman pacing inside. Curiosity gripped her, and she considered approaching the house to find out more. However, she quickly reminded herself of her current mission. Important tasks awaited, and she headed straight for the mine, though her thoughts lingered on the mysterious young lady and what her story might be. Eliryssa entered the mine, her eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of the gold-toothed kobold. However, she quickly realized that this was no simple task. The mine was teeming with kobolds, each one looking similar to the next. How was she supposed to find the one with a gold tooth? It was like searching for a needle in a haystack, and she couldn't help but sigh at the challenge ahead. Eliryssa pressed forward, determined not to be discouraged. She fought her way through the mine, taking down a few kobolds at a time. As she did, she gathered the gold dust and large candles she needed for the folks in Goldshire. The work was slow and exhausting, but she knew it would be worth it once she found the kobold with the gold tooth. As Marshal Dughan had tasked her to scout the mine, Eliryssa now had no doubt the mine was badly infested with kobolds. They were everywhere, scurrying around in the darkness. She couldn't help but wonder, where were they all coming from? It seemed there were far too many for this mine alone to sustain. While lost in her thoughts, Eliryssa might have taken a wrong turn, as she suddenly found herself completely disoriented. She pulled out the map Marshal Dughan had given her, carefully retracing her steps to make her way out. Still, there was no sign of the gold-toothed kobold. A thought crossed her mind. Had that little boy, Billy, played her for a fool? Had he stolen the necklace himself and hidden it away? Lost all of her hope, Eliryssa finally made her way out of the mine, thinking about what she would say to Auntie Bernice. As she considered her options, she decided to head back to Goldshire first to deliver the collected items to the residents there, and then return for a more thorough search of the mine. Just as she was crossing the upper edge of the mine, something caught her eye, a glittering reflection in the corner of her vision. Could it be? Without wasting a moment, she approached and quickly subdued the kobold. To her surprise, there it was. A wave of relief washed over her as she held it in her hands. Without delay, she ran back to Auntie Bernice.
Hello, Eliryssa. Have you found my necklace?
Yes, Auntie Bernice, I found your necklace.
Oh, you found it. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Here, take this. It was my husband's and he always said it was lucky.
Thank you, Auntie Bernice. I'll cherish it and make sure it brings good luck to my journey.
With the necklace returned and Auntie Bernice's gratitude fresh in her mind, Eliryssa ran back towards Goldshire. The journey through the forest felt lighter now, with the weight of her promise fulfilled. As she approached Goldshire, she spotted Marshal Dughan near the center of town, ready to report on her findings from the mine.
This is bad news. We'll have to increase our patrols near that mine.
I did my best, Marshal, but it was difficult to determine where they were all coming from. There were just so many of them.
Thanks to you, we know the Fargodeep Mine is infested with kobolds. Now we need a scout to investigate the more distant Jasperlode Mine.
Another mine? All right, Marshal. What do you need me to do?
Explore Jasperlode and confirm any kobold presence. To reach the mine, travel east along the road until you reach the Tower of Azora. From the tower, head north and you'll find the mine in the foothills.
Understood. I'll head to Jasperlode and report back as soon as I have any information.
You have that gold dust?
Yes, Remy, I have it right here.
Thanks for the dust, Eliryssa. Here's your cash, and here is a token from associates of mine. You might find it useful.
You were busy hunting kobolds, were you? Thanks for the candles, Eliryssa, and here's your reward.
Thank you, Mr. Pestle. I hope this helps with your work.
After her conversation with Pestle, Eliryssa decided to take a moment for herself. She bought a drink from the innkeeper and seated herself near the warm fire. The events of the day had left her exhausted, but there was still work ahead. She needed to scout the Jasperlode Mine. Yet as she stared into the flickering flames, her thoughts drifted to the young lady at the Maclure vineyard. Who was she, and why were they guarding her? The questions gnawed at her mind, and Eliryssa found herself lost in thought, wondering what secrets were hidden there.